As the new year begins and cold weather sets in, make sure your home stays warm and reliable with an incredible deal from Premier Heating and Air. Get $500 instant rebate on a standard efficiency unit, $1,000 on a higher efficiency model, and $1,500 instant rebate on the highest efficiency models. Get a heat system checkup for only $49. So don't drop the ball on your heating and air system. Experience a Premier difference today. Log on to dublin.premierishere.com or call 478-300-2633. Restrictions may apply, cannot be combined with other offers, and this expires 1/31/2026. Premier Heating and Air, a locally owned and operated company.
Welcome everybody. I'm glad to have with me today a dear friend, George Bumgardner with Premier Heating and Air. It's the first time, I guess, I've sat down and talked with you, George.
Yes, sir, certainly in a setting like this.
Yeah,
Yes,
we've worked together on many projects, but we want to talk about Premier Heating and Air today. Nathan Slater owns the company. He started back in 2001. We were talking off camera. I love the story of how he started. Before we get going here and talk about a lot of things, tell our viewers exactly how Premier started.
So basically, in 2001, Nathan had this dream to start a heating and air company, and went to his grandpa and talked to him about it, and took out a little loan with his grandpa and just literally went to work. At the time, it was just him and his mother. His mother answered the phone for him, and his wife was still working, so his mother answered the phone for him, and he just got out and was literally boots on the ground. He was the service man, he was the installer, he was the sales guy, he done everything. And then, you know, as time progressed, he started being able to hire people and just kind of went from there and grew an amazing business that he has now.
Yeah, he said he started with hope and prayer and a loan from his grandpa. He ended up paying his grandpa back, but to this day, he continues the business on hope and prayer, don't he?
Yes, yes, yes. Anywhere you can walk in our office, and in most of all our other 9 locations other than the office here in Dublin, it is somewhere in that building it's going to say, a good name is rather to be chosen than great riches.
Amen. And faith is so important. Tell me why, and a lot of your employees, your managers, which I've talked to every single one of them from Ohio and Kentucky and Nashville, and y'all have expanded all over the middle part of the country, I guess. But everybody I talk to, I can tell how important their faith is. Why is that?
Well, if you don't have that, then what do you have as a basis for anything? You know, if you don't have something that you can lean on when times are tough or anything, you know, what do you have if you don't have faith? Amen.
So I got to know, how did you and Nathan meet? How did y'all family come together? Because I know now y'all are married into the same family, so I got to know how y'all met.
Yeah, so I guess it was in the late 80s. I grew up in North Carolina, a little town called Southport, right on the coast. And I reckon it was sometime in the 80s, our families met through church. And then I guess it was probably around 1990, my mom and dad and myself came to Georgia to a camp meeting that his grandfather's church had. And my mom and his mom become great friends. And so I guess since I was about 9 years old, I started coming to Georgia. And then, of course, their vacations would be in North Carolina and our vacations would be in Georgia. And it just kind of went from there until 2000. Mm-hmm. I was ready to get married, and he had a sister that was ready to get married, and it just worked out. We figured we didn't find anybody we liked any better than we did each other, so we got married in March of 2001, and so I've been in Georgia since January of 2001.
I wonder how many marriages have come, and growing up, like we did, you know, I went to church camp every year. We'd go on youth trips. We sang all over South Georgia, our group did. But how many marriages come out of church camps? You know,
my Lord.
There's no telling, are there?
It would be innumerable. It really would. There's no telling what the number is.
You know, I was reading some things on Nathan, and he said he found out early that when he sold someone a heating and air conditioning unit, that they didn't just want to buy that, they wanted that company to take care of them after the sale. That's something that is so important in business, isn't it?
It is. It is, because if you can't take care of that customer after the sale, what have you done? You know, you've got their money and walked away from them, and that's the end of the story there. Well, we have customers now that it's their third time we're putting their third air conditioning in for them, and that's a pretty amazing feeling to go back. Of course, I don't get to see them as much as I used to because I'm not in the field anymore. But to hear the stories of the sales guy come back and said, yeah, you sold this person a unit 12 years ago, you know. And then for me, when I was selling, yeah, Nathan sold me this unit 10 or 12 years ago, you know. And so it's very rewarding, I would say that, very rewarding.
On a personal level, George, how does it feel when you run into people at the grocery store, say Walmart or wherever around town, and they tell you those kind of stories? You know, how does that make you feel?
You know, it's almost hard to put into words. You wouldn't say pride, because that would sound kind of self-centered. But I think it is a pride, you know, that you feel, certainly an accomplishment and a gratitude more than anything.
Amen.
Certainly a gratitude more than anything, that, you know, gratitude that we have a great team, that these customers trust enough to continue to let us come and work for them. And then gratitude as well to the customer, that they trust us enough to let us continue to come work for them.
And to let people come into your home, you know, I think about my pest control guy, or people that come into my house that, you know, they got the code to my door, they can go in, and when you let someone in your home, that says a lot about the company you do business with. Y'all take that personally, don't you?
Certainly. It's a very good feeling when somebody says, especially when somebody that has never traded with us before, but just from word to mouth, they'll say, hey, you know, I'm not going to be able to be home. The door's unlocked. Call me when you get through, and we'll take care of the bill. You know, that's an amazing feeling, to be honest with you.
There's no doubt. It's saying a lot when you allow somebody to do that. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back right after this.
Now's the time to get a great deal on select Kubota equipment. As the #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S., they offer the versatility and reliability to get the job done right all year round. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment with 0% financing available, or save up to $4,000.
Products you can count on, a name you can trust. That's Midstate Tractor and Equipment.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm continuing my conversation with George, and we're talking about Premier Heating and Air. Y'all really, looking at your website, y'all solicit customer feedback. Why is that?
Well, if you don't have customer feedback, the first thing is you don't know what you're doing wrong. And if you don't know what you're doing wrong, therefore you can't fix it.
Yeah.
Of course, it's great for morale for when the guys in our office, we have a big brag board. And so when the guys have made a customer happy and they send us a letter or shoot us an email, or we find it on Google, we put that up to, you know, so everybody knows they're doing a good job. But what's even better than that is when the customers say, hey, maybe if you could help a little bit on this area right here, then we know what to improve on.
Well, I mentioned all the places y'all have locations now, but you know, I think about not only Dublin and Perry and Warner Robins, Conyers, Sandersville, Forsyth, but you also are in Maysville, Kentucky, Petersburg, Indiana, Nashville, Tennessee. How in the world did y'all expand all those locations?
You know, a lot of prayer.
Back to hope and prayer.
Yes, sir. And Nashville, and Memphis, Tennessee as well.
Okay.
So, yes, sir. But it's amazing. One thing, and the church feeds into a lot of that. It certainly does, because any of those locations we are in, either through family or friends or through a church, we've been able to find a manager, or Nathan has been able to find a manager to run those locations. And, you know, Nathan he'll see an area, some area come on his mind, he'll say, I think I can put a business there. And he'll just start, he'll start working at it, whether through a broker or through letters or however. But it's never failed anywhere that we want to grow. A manager for that location has been provided, basically.
Yeah. Well, and you and I know we believe in the power of prayer. God don't want to manage just, you know, a lot of people say, you know, I'm gonna let God handle the big things. I got all this little stuff.
That's
of course,
right.
when the little stuff falls apart, then we want God to step in. He wants to manage everything.
That's right.
And that's where Nathan, he don't just say hope and prayer. Prayer is a powerful, powerful tool that has just exploded his business in, I guess, about 25 years, isn't it?
It has, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Next year will be 25 years, which is, when you look at the statistics of where failed heating and air companies rank on a national average, it's close to restaurants. And, you know, for a man to take what was a very small shop and grow it to 140, 150 employees in 25 years, it speaks very well of his ability.
Well, he's got to be really involved, and I know when I walk in y'all's home office, you can just tell. I don't think you can train a lot of this taking care of customers. You can train them on how you like to do business, but I think it's bred into you from your mom and dad and your church and things like that. But you can just tell these men and women love working at Premier.
Yes, sir. What we do, our turnover rate is got to be one of the lowest for our size company of anywhere around here. The guy that was my helper 23 years ago is still with us. The guy that was his helper 20 years ago is still with us, you know. And it's not just them, it's countless stories, you know. You do have some turnover rate, but our core group has been with us for a very, very long time.
That says a lot. How involved is Nathan?
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day. Literally most of the time, I get to work around 10 minutes till 7, and a lot of times he's there when I get there in the morning. And then, you know, he's there 7 to 5 days a week. And what time he's not calling me on Saturday because he thought of something, but he is very involved.
Yeah, on Saturday, his creative juices, my wife would tell me, said, James, clock out.
Yeah.
Just clock out, you know, but once them creative juices start flowing and you're thinking of these ideas, you got to jump on it.
That's right. Yeah.
So that's why he's calling you. Well, I want to talk about some things about what people are saying about Premier. I know you're not going to talk about, and I'm sure I couldn't get Nathan to talk about, but let me tell you a few things. I want you to comment. Here's some things your customers are saying. Wilton says, Mr. Kevin came out to service our unit, was very professional, kind of talkative. He arrived promptly, serviced our unit with a 6-month cleaning, answered all our questions, very helpful. We love Premier. Brett said very professional, respectful, knowledgeable. Jennifer made the comment that you provide top-notch, excellent service. She has a maintenance program that was well worth the money. And I can go on and on. All these people, one common denominator is respectful, knowledgeable, and cared about me as a customer.
Yes, sir. So I'll tell you a little story. Crystal and I had very newly been married, and we had bought, maybe from Sears, wherever we had bought our washer and dryer from, and our wash machine tore up. Well, she called me one day. We had called and said, mate, you know, some places you don't get an appointment. They show up when they get there. And so she called me and said, hey, there's a man out here in the yard that I don't know what he's doing. And you understand where we live at, you're either supposed to be there or you're not. You know, it's not you don't show up here by accident. You're either supposed to be here or you're not. And she said his truck, not knocking anybody's truck, but he had a very beat up truck, and his appearance was not very well at all. And I said, well, call your mama. So her mama lived a quarter mile from us at the time. She came over, and come to find out it was our repairman for our wash machine. And that really taught me something then that of course Nathan had known all along, but don't send anybody into somebody's house that your wife would be scared to let them in the door. You know, and that's just what, you know, and we've had such a great team over the years that, and of course the area that we live in, you live in the South, hospitality is not a hard thing if somebody tries just a little bit. And then of course with training and coaching, you know, we do all that we can, but we're so blessed to live in an area that you can take somebody and just put a little bit of effort in
That's
them.
right.
And they see this. They see the same value that we see in taking care of people.
Well, and I've talked to many of your employees, the ones, your frontline people, and it's amazing to me how Nathan spots talent. I know one gentleman, and I'm sure you can tell me all about him, and I want you to, but Nathan was eating at a Subway.
Yeah.
And this young man is just exceeding all the expectations, great personality, just going above and beyond the call of duty, making a sandwich, taking care of Nathan, and he ends up hiring the guy.
Yeah, sure did. And that was close to 10 years ago.
Wow.
And the guy started out as a green helper, you know. He didn't know what we would call a zip screw from a tie band. He didn't. And now he's a very high performing service technician, you know, and you remember his story, come from living with family, and he has a very fine home now, and you know, a family of his own and children.
And that's got to be a good feeling, seeing someone, not knocking any kind of business, but to see them come in and they're living at home, they're giving it all they got. This young man, you know, like I said, I met the guy. Just an unbelievable guy, and to see him grow and have his own home now and family and be able to support himself and
That's
make
right.
a good living, a good, honest living.
That's right.
That's just got to make all y'all feel good.
It is. It's amazing because our story's the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, we work for everything that we have, but to see somebody that has the same desire that I want my life to be better tomorrow than what it is today. And, you know, and then to be able to end up with a great team of people that feel that way. When that young man, when he came to work for us, he was still he would work all day air conditioning, he'd go make Subway sandwiches. And that was kind of our deal with the lady that owned the shop, you know, because she's a friend of ours and it had been a customer almost since we've been in business. She's like, you can't take my best man. So it was like, well, how about we work it out until he can work for you? You know, he'll work for us during the day and train, and then he can work for you until you can find somebody to replace him. Which I don't know if she ever found somebody to replace him, but she did hire somebody else.
Yeah,
So,
you can hire somebody else. But this guy, I call him a kid. You know, I remember when 40 was old to me, and 40 to me now is just a kid. But,
that's right. Yes, sir.
But it does, and I could see George when he's talking to me, just the pride he felt, his face just immediately beamed with joy, and to know he's done it with the help of Premier, the right training and teaching him. And it seems to me, talking to different employees, y'all had rather get somebody just a piece of clay, just like God molds us, you know, just takes that piece of clay and don't have any preconceived notions about anything else. Don't you find that's a better employee when you can take them and mold them?
It is, as long as they have a work ethic and they can squeeze a pair of pliers.
Yeah.
You know, we can do something with them. It really is. That is what we would prefer. We like to be able to take young people that have a drive. If I can hire somebody between 18 and 22 years old and they have a drive and they want their life to be better tomorrow than what it is right now, you know, then we've got. And speaking to anybody that wants a job in a trade, we're one of the few places that will hire you. We'll pay for your school and we'll pay for you while you go to school, and then we'll put you in a truck and you're ready to go. And we have the ability there at our office to do that.
Yeah, and can make a incredible salary, feel good about what you do, taking care of people in our community, you know, in their area of influence. So it's something you can feel good about.
It is. We was at the Little Oak Muggy EMC meeting last week down in Wheeler County. And to have we were there giving out T-shirts and this, that, or the other. And to have the customers or the people that come through the line, you know, and I would say 3/4 of those people said, man, we've dealt with Premier, you know, or y'all been with us, we've been with you for 20 years or 15 years or maybe 5 years, you know. But yeah, just I don't know, to see it all come together from where we was.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's just, it is incredible. And when you look back, a lot of times when you're in the bubble, you don't see it.
That's right.
But when you can just step back and look kind of from a 7th floor view, you can see how it all come together. So we're going to take another break. We'll be back right after this.
Recently at Dublin Chevrolet.
Don's not doing TV ads this month. Can you believe that?
How are we going to tell the customers about the great year-end sales?
I've got an idea. I've got a great idea. Let's get that TV voice guy to help us.
Take home this 26 tracks for only $26,595. This 26 GMC Canyon is only $39,895. Save over $8,000 off MSRP on this Z06 Corvette.
Merry Christmas!
And Happy New Year
From
from
Dublin
Dublin Chevrolet.
Welcome back, everybody. Continuing our conversation with George from Premier Heating and Air. And I want to talk about Nathan's, his generosity is unbelievable. We were talking off camera about your daughter and Kathy Slater, which is Nathan's mom. They help us every year with our homeless meal,
That's right.
City of Hope homeless meal. They buy gifts for kids at Christmas that's not going to have Christmas. Y'all do a lot in the schools. You recognize, feed our public responders every year, our football teams. You do the All-Star Awards. You mentioned being over the EMC in Wheeler County. That's just one of the many things you do. Why is giving back like this important to Premier?
I would say, again, how else can you show, people that you're grateful for what?
Yeah.
Because the only way you can give to the community is the community's already given into you.
Yeah.
You can't, and that's just one of the ways that we can, is kind of show people, hey, we appreciate you let us come into your house. Maybe we can give your kid a T-shirt, at a football game, or recognize them, or feed them a dinner, or something. But the only way that we can give back is because the community has already given.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say, and I've heard this for years, why would you do this? We've already done business with you. You already got my money.
That's right.
But it's more than that, isn't it?
That's right. It is. Of course, we want them to keep giving us their money.
Well, yeah, we want their business.
But we certainly want their business. But I guess it's just to say thank you.
Yeah.
That's the simplest way I know how to put it, is just say thank you for allowing us to be in your home.
Yeah. And we appreciate
And
you.
we appreciate you. Yes, sir.
Okay, so cold weather's right around the corner.
It is.
We've already had a little cold
Yes,
spurt. So I was reading the reviews on Premier, and a lot of people mentioned the service plan. And I know you have a $49 total home comfort plan. And of course, you got rebates, I think, starting at $1,500, going up from there. So you got all the incentive in the world to
That's
do
right.
business with Premier. Talk about that.
Yes, sir. So, and there's so many different levels. Whatever level you feel comfortable with, we have something for you at that level. The $49, what we can do with that, starting with that, is just come in and just check your system out for you. The air conditioning is one of those things that's kind of forgot about until you actually need it, or heating, either one. And then, and a lot of people tell us, my air conditioner, it only goes out on the 4th of July or Christmas Day, or the heat goes out on Christmas Day, So that is just kind of, we can go through and not tell you you've got to buy anything, but say, hey, we see this is fixing to tear up. And kind of go from there. And then you go up to your maintenance. We have two plans with that, a $99 that's one time a year, or $199 that's twice a year. And that's basically, again, you go every 3,000, 5,000 miles and change the oil in your car, but you never think about cleaning your air conditioning, other than changing your filter every 30 days. That's just a good preventive maintenance. Come clean your drain lines out on your air conditioner so they don't clog up in the summertime. And and then with that, you get your 20% discount on repairs. You get priority booking. It's just being a club member, basically.
And it pays for itself.
It certainly does, yes, sir.
And one reason it's important, one of the reviews I read, Claudia said, the team at Premier went over and above on helping my elderly parents when their air conditioning went down. They came out on a Saturday. Catch that now. They came out on Saturday. and service their existing older unit, which was leaking coolant. With the service plan, they came back 10 days later and recharged it at no cost. See, this service plan pays for itself.
It does, yes. Yeah, it really does. Just the maintenance that we do alone pays for itself with energy cost and you know, diagnosing future problems. But also with the 20% discount, if you have a $500 bill on a $99 plan, it paid for itself the very first time. You basically got your unit cleaned for free.
Yeah, yeah, and they don't last forever.
That's
and you know, you touched on something I want to go back to that, you know, if you go out here and look at my glove box, I'm very OCD. I've got when I took my car exactly to within 10 miles of the oil change, rotating the tires, all the recommended service stuff, because I believe that you take care of your car's going to take care of you.
That's right, yes, sir.
Same thing with your air conditioning.
That's exactly
your heat
right.
pump.
Yeah.
You take care of it, but you know, we let it run. All of a sudden, it's freezing outside, it's burning up, and now my air conditioning system went down. Where a little servicing, $49, $99, whichever plan you want to get, those things don't guarantee it's not going to tear up, but you do those maintenance things, and it's less of a likelihood it will.
That's correct. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Number one compressor killer is dirty coils. That's why on a 10-year warranty, the manufacturer requires that you have it cleaned at least once a year.
Right.
Because they don't want to be buying compressors for people that's not maintaining their unit. So the number one compressor killer is dirty coils. And so you just, again, you change the air filter in your car, you change the oil in your car. Why not you're going to have your air conditioner a lot longer than you'll have your car, more than likely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Part of me hates to say this, part of me does, but my air conditioning unit, my first one in my house lasted 25 years.
Yeah.
Now, I serviced it all the time, took care of it all the time, kept it clean, you know, but I always seem to get whether it's my tires or whatever, and I'm a firm believer that you take care of these things, then you're gonna have a less likelihood of things tearing up. And that's why you have this, I call it a robust maintenance plan that, you know, you can't just get anywhere.
That's right, yes, sir.
When you deal with somebody like Premier. So tell me exactly, someone watching now and they need Premier to come out, how do they do that?
So, of course, depending on the area you live in, Dublin, it's 478-275-7600. Call that number, you'll talk to a live person, or you can go to our website, premierishere.com, and you can schedule a maintenance or a service call from there.
So before we wrap things up, let's go back to Nathan. Almost 25 years he has owned this company, and I want to touch on this. I love what he says when he started this company. He borrowed the money from his grandfather, bought him some parts and things to get started with, and he says that, and I love this part, that he forgot that he had to get customers.
That's
so
right.
Fast forward 25 some odd years, the customers are there, aren't they?
They are.
What do you
yes.
say to that customer watching now?
Thank you. Certainly, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah.
No matter how you're watching us today, if you're watching us on TV, on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram, we appreciate you watching us. We get about 1 million views every 90 days on our YouTube channel.
Goodness
so there's
gracious.
a lot of people from all over the world, not just obviously around here. So if you're watching us in any of those ways, we really appreciate it. But before we go, is there anything you want to say, George?
Again, one thing, thank you for taking out your time today to sit down and talk with me. I really appreciate that. And then Mr. Ron, he just helps us tremendously all the time. And then to our customers, thank you. And if any of our team sees this, man, we certainly appreciate you for what you do.
Last thing, you're only as good as your people. We've talked about some of them here, but none of us, I don't care what you're running, if you're running a watermelon stand or McDonald's or whatever, Premier Heating and Air, you're only as good as your people, aren't you?
That's all, because one person can't be everywhere all the time. They just can't. And so when you have an amazing team like we do, it makes everything work together.
Absolutely. If you're watching this, you say, man, that's the kind of company I want to work for. Call one of those numbers, no matter where you are. If you're in Memphis or you're in Nashville or you're in Warner Robins, Perry, or Glenwood, Georgia.
That's right.
Downtown Glenwood, then you call one of those numbers. We'd love to talk with you. What a great place to come and work. And we're in a great place to work, play, and live here in Middle Georgia, so we appreciate you watching. George, thank you so much.
Yes, sir, thank you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. And thank you for joining us today.
Yes, sir, thank you.